Chosen ones, there's a voice speaking to you right now, a whisper deep in your soul, and it's no ordinary call, it's God Himself, reaching out to guide you into a destiny so profound it will shift the very ground beneath your feet. This isn't a fleeting feeling or a random thought. It's a divine signal, clear and unshakable, meant to pull you toward a path of purpose, power, and transformation. You're hearing it because you're not like the rest. You're marked, set apart, chosen for something greater than you've ever imagined. Stay with me, because this message is alive, crafted by the Creator for you, and it's about to change everything. This voice you're hearing, it's not your imagination. It's God's hand on your life, stirring your spirit, waking you up to the truth of who you are. You've felt it before, haven't you? In quiet moments, in the middle of chaos, or when you've stood at a crossroads, unsure of the next step. That gentle pull, that unshakable knowing it's Him. He's speaking directly to your heart, saying, "I've called you by name, you are mine." Isaiah 43:1. This isn't about religion or rules. It's about a connection so deep it transcends time, a bond between you and the one who created the stars and still chose to know you by name. You're not here by accident. You're here because God is ready to reveal the next chapter of your story. Right now, as you listen, that voice is urging you to step forward. It's telling you to let go of the doubts, the fears, the chains of yesterday that have held you back. Maybe you've been told you're not enough, that your dreams are too big, or that your past defines you. But God's voice cuts through all of that noise. He's saying, "You are enough because I made you." The world may try to drown out this truth with its expectations and judgments, but His voice is louder, clearer, and it's calling you to rise. You're not meant to shrink. You're meant to shine, to walk boldly into the purpose He's prepared for you. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how certain moments in your life feel like they were orchestrated? Like the time you escaped a situation that could have broken you, or when a door opened just when you thought all hope was lost. That was no coincidence. That was God's voice guiding you, even when you didn't realize it. Think of Moses, standing before a burning bush, hearing God's call when he felt like a nobody, a fugitive, a failure. Yet that voice transformed him into a leader who parted seas. You're standing before your own burning bush right now. God's voice is speaking, and it's time to listen. Don't ignore it. This is your moment. This voice isn't just calling you to a new path, it's preparing you for a divine shift. You're on the edge of something massive, something that will redefine how you see yourself and the world around you. God is aligning things behind the scenes, moving pieces you can't yet see. The struggles you've faced, the tears you've shed, the battles you've fought, they weren't meant to destroy you. They were meant to forge you. Every scar you carry is proof of your strength, a testament to the fact that you've been chosen to withstand storms others couldn't. And now, God's voice is saying, "It's time to step into the promise I made to you." When, and commenter, pause for a second and feel the weight of that. You're not just hearing a random thought. You're hearing the Creator of the universe, the one who spoke light into existence, calling you to a life of abundance, purpose, and unshakable peace. This isn't about chasing wealth or fame for their own sake. It's about living in the fullness of what God designed for you, a life where your needs are met, your heart is whole, and your spirit is alive with His presence. The voice you're hearing is an invitation to trust, to surrender, to believe that what's coming is greater than anything you've left behind. And here's the truth. God's voice doesn't just speak to your present, it speaks to your future. It's planting seeds of hope, vision, and courage that will bloom in ways you can't yet fathom. When you hear that whisper, it's not just about today. It's about the legacy you're building, the lives you'll touch, the impact you'll have. Look at Esther, a young woman who heard God's call in a moment of crisis. She wasn't a queen by birth, but his voice led her to a throne, to a moment where she saved a nation. You're being called to your own throne, your own purpose, and it starts with listening to that voice. I know it's not always easy to trust what you hear. The world is loud, full of distractions, doubts, and voices that try to pull you away from God's truth. Maybe you've been hurt, betrayed, or let down so many times that you're afraid to believe in something good. But let me remind you, God's voice is different. It's steady. It's sure. It doesn't waver, even when you do. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. John 10:27. You're hearing him now because you're his. Don't let fear silence what he's speaking into your life. This is a good moment to take a stand. If you're feeling that voice stirring in your spirit, if you know this message is for you, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this journey together. And in the comments, type 777, a number of divine completion, a declaration that you're ready to receive what God is speaking. These actions aren't just for the algorithm. They're a signal to the universe that you're aligning with your purpose, that you're ready to move forward. Now, let's talk about what happens when you truly listen to this voice. It's not just about hearing, it's about responding. God's voice isn't passive, it's active, alive, a force that moves mountains and breaks chains. When you lean into it, you start to see doors open that were once locked. Opportunities appear where there were only obstacles. People who once overlooked you begin to see you in a new light. This is the power of divine alignment. When you follow his voice, the world around you shifts to match the vision he's placed in your heart. You might be wondering, what does this voice sound like? It's not always a booming sound from the heavens. Sometimes it's a quiet nudge, a sudden clarity, a feeling you can't explain but know is true. Maybe it's the courage to take a step you've been avoiding. Maybe it's the peace that settles over you when you let go of something that's been holding you back. For some, it's a vision of what could be a dream that feels too big but won't let you go. Whatever form it takes, it's unmistakable. It's God speaking directly to you, saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." Isaiah 30:21. Let's be real for a second. Listening to God's voice doesn't mean life suddenly becomes easy. You're still going to face challenges. The enemy will try to drown out that voice with doubt, fear, or temptation. But here's the difference. When you're tuned into God's voice, those challenges don't define you. They refine you. Think of David, a shepherd boy who heard God's call and faced a giant. The world saw a kid with a slingshot, but God saw a king. That's what his voice does. It reveals who you really are, not who the world says you are. And when you start walking in that truth, something miraculous happens. Your life becomes a testimony. People notice the change in you, not just in how you look or what you achieve, but in the peace you carry, the strength that radiates from you. You become a living proof of God's power, a walking miracle that others can't ignore. That voice you're hearing, it's not just guiding you, it's shaping you into someone who reflects his glory, someone who carries his light into every corner of the world. This voice is also a promise. It's God saying, "I've got you." No matter how dark the night, no matter how heavy the burden, he's with you. His voice is a reminder that you're never alone, never forsaken. When you feel like giving up, when the world feels too heavy. That whisper is there, saying, "I am your strength and your shield." Psalm 28:7. It's a promise that the path you're on, no matter how winding, is leading you to a place of victory, abundance, and unshakable joy. Right now, God's voice is calling you to let go of the old, the habits that weigh you down, the fears that keep you stuck, the voices that tell you you're not enough. They don't get to define you anymore. His voice is louder, stronger, truer. It's telling you to release the past and step into the new. You're not the person you were yesterday. You're a chosen one, marked by divine purpose, guided by a voice that never fails. Let go of what's behind and embrace what's ahead. This is where faith comes in. Listening to God's voice means trusting Him, even when the path isn't clear. It means believing that the whisper you hear is leading you somewhere beautiful, even if you can't see it yet. Abraham heard God's voice and left everything he knew to follow a promise he couldn't see. That's what made him the father of nations. You're being called to that same kind of faith, to trust the voice, to follow where it leads, to believe that what God has for you is worth every step. And let me tell you something. The voice you're hearing isn't just about you. It's about the people you're meant to touch, the lives you're meant to change. God's voice is calling you to a purpose that's bigger than yourself. Maybe it's starting a business that blesses others. Maybe it's speaking truth in a world full of lies. Maybe it's simply being a light in someone's darkness. Whatever it is, His voice is guiding you to a legacy that will outlast you, a ripple effect that will touch generations. Take a moment to feel the weight of that. You're not just hearing a voice, you're being entrusted with a mission. God chose you because He knows you can carry it. He sees the strength in you, even when you don't see it yourself. His voice is a reminder that you're capable, that you're ready, that you're more than enough. So don't ignore it. Don't push it aside. Lean in, listen closely, and let it guide you into the fullness of who you were created to be. If this message is stirring something in you, if you feel God's voice speaking through these words, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls on this journey. And in the comments, type 777 to declare that you're ready to follow His call. This isn't just about supporting the channel, it's about standing firm in your faith, proclaiming that you're ready for what God has in store. Now, let's talk about what happens when you fully embrace this voice. It's not just about hearing, it's about acting. When you say yes to God's call, you step into a flow of divine favor. Things that once seemed impossible start to fall into place. Relationships heal, finances shift. Opportunities you never expected come knocking. This isn't magic, it's alignment. When you follow His voice, you're walking in His will, and His will always leads to abundance. But here's the thing, following God's voice requires courage. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, taking risks, trusting when you can't see the outcome. Think of Noah, building an ark when there wasn't a cloud in the sky. People laughed, mocked, called him crazy, but he heard God's voice, and he obeyed. That obedience saved his family and changed history. Your obedience to the voice you're hearing right now will change your history. It will rewrite your story, and when you start walking in that obedience, you'll notice something else. The voice gets clearer. The more you trust it, the louder it becomes. It's like tuning a radio. Once you find the right frequency, the static fades, and the signal is crystal clear. God's voice will guide you through every decision, every challenge, every moment of doubt. It will be your compass, your anchor, your light in the darkness. All you have to do is keep listening. This voice is also a shield. It protects you from the lies of the enemy, the doubts that try to creep in, the distractions that pull you off course. When you're anchored in God's voice, nothing can shake you. Not failure, not fear, not the opinions of others. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Psalm 27:1. That's the power of his voice. It makes you untouchable, unbreakable, unstoppable. You might be thinking, what if I miss it? What if I don't hear it right? Let me put your mind at ease. God's voice isn't a one-time thing. He's patient. He's persistent. If you miss it today, he'll speak again tomorrow. He's not going to let you wander too far. His voice is like a shepherd calling his sheep. It keeps calling until you find your way home. So don't stress about getting it perfect. Just stay open, stay willing, and keep listening. And here's something beautiful. The voice you're hearing isn't just about guiding you, it's about revealing you. Every time you listen, you discover more of who you are. You're not just a person with a job, a family, a past. You're a chosen one, a vessel of God's glory, a carrier of his light. His voice is peeling back the layers of doubt, fear, and insecurity to show you the masterpiece he created. You're stronger than you know, braver than you feel, and more powerful than you realize. This voice is also a call to rest. Not the kind of rest where you do nothing, but the kind where you stop striving and start trusting. God's voice says, I've got this. You don't have to carry the weight of the world. When you lean into his voice, you find peace that doesn't make sense, a peace that holds you steady in the middle of chaos. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. John 14:27. That's his promise, and it's yours to claim. Let's talk about the bigger picture. The voice you're hearing isn't just for you, it's for the world. God's calling you to be a light, a beacon, a force for good. When you follow his voice, you're not just changing your life, you're changing the lives around you. Your family, your friends, your community. They'll see his light in you. They'll feel his love through you. Your obedience to his voice becomes a testimony that draws others to him. And don't miss this. The voice you're hearing is eternal. It's not bound by time, by circumstances, by the limits of this world. It's the same voice that spoke to Abraham, to Moses, to Esther, to David. It's the voice that created the universe and holds it together. When you hear it, you're tapping into something infinite, something unstoppable. You're connecting with the very heart of God, and that connection will carry you through every season of your life. Right now, as you listen to this message, God's voice is speaking louder than ever. It's saying, this is your time. Not tomorrow, not next year now. The dreams you've buried, the hopes you've set aside, the purpose you've doubted, they're all coming alive. His voice is waking them up, calling them forth, making a way where there seems to be no way. Don't ignore it. Don't push it away. This is the moment you've been waiting for, and here's where it gets real. Following God's voice means letting go of control. You can't hold on to your plans and his at the same time. It's scary, I know, but his plans are always better. His voice is leading you to a future you couldn't dream up on your own, a future full of hope, purpose, and joy. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. That's his promise, and he's speaking it to you right now. This voice is also a call to action. It's not enough to hear it, you have to move. God's voice is like a river. flowing with purpose, and it's inviting you to step in. Maybe it's time to start that project you've been putting off. Maybe it's time to forgive someone who hurt you. Maybe it's time to take a leap of faith you've been afraid to take. Whatever it is, his voice is giving you the strength to do it. You're not alone. He's with you every step of the way. And when you move, something shifts. The atmosphere changes. The enemy trembles. The world takes notice. Your obedience to God's voice sets off a chain reaction that reaches far beyond what you can see. It's like dropping a stone in a pond. The ripples spread, touching lives, changing hearts, reshaping destinies. You're not just a person following a voice. You're a force, a catalyst, a chosen one carrying God's power into the world. Let me remind you of something. This voice isn't new. It's been with you all along. From the moment you were born, God's voice has been speaking over you, guiding you, protecting you. Every time you've felt that spark of hope, that surge of courage, that moment of clarity, it was Him. He's been leading you to this moment, preparing you for what's next. Now, He's calling you to step fully into your purpose, to trust His voice like never before. This is a moment to stand firm. If you're hearing God's voice through this message, if you know He's speaking to you, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls walking this path. And in the comments, type 777 to proclaim that you're ready to follow His call. These actions are a declaration of your faith, a step toward aligning with the destiny He's prepared for you. Now, let's talk about the cost of ignoring this voice. It's not about punishment, it's about missing out. Every time you push away that whisper, you delay the breakthrough God has for you. You're not just ignoring a feeling, you're ignoring a divine invitation. Think of Jonah, who ran from God's voice and ended up in the belly of a whale. He could have avoided the storm if he'd listened. Don't let fear or doubt keep you from the destiny God's calling you to. Listen now and step into the promise. But here's the good news. Even if you've ignored His voice before, it's not too late. God's voice is patient, persistent, unending. He's still speaking, still calling, still guiding. He's not giving up on you. He never will. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end. Lamentations 3:22. If you're hearing Him now, that's proof He's still with you, still ready to lead you into the life He promised. This voice is also a weapon. It's not just guiding you, it's fighting for you. When you listen to God's voice, you're armed with His truth, His power, His protection. The enemy can't stand against it. The lies that have held you back, the fears that have kept you small, they crumble in the presence of His voice. You're not defenseless. You're not weak. You're a warrior, equipped with the most powerful force in the universe, God's word, spoken directly to you. And when you carry that voice in your heart, you become unstoppable. Nothing can hold you back, not your past, not your circumstances, not the opinions of others. God's voice is your shield, your sword, your victory. It's what makes you different, what sets you apart, what marks you as a chosen one. You're not just hearing a whisper, you're carrying a divine mandate, a calling that changes everything. Let's talk about what's on the other side of this voice. It's not just a better life, it's a transformed life. When you follow God's voice, you step into a reality where miracles are normal, where provision is certain, where peace is unshakable. This isn't about chasing temporary happiness. It's about living in the eternal flow of God's goodness, where every need is met, every dream is possible, and every step is guided. You're not just hearing a voice, you're being invited into a partnership with the Creator. He's saying, "Walk with me." He's offering you a seat at His table, a place in His plan, a role in His story. This is bigger than you can imagine. It's not just about your success or your happiness, it's about His glory shining through you, touching the world, changing lives. You're a vessel, a light, a chosen one, carrying His voice into the darkness. And here's the beauty of it. This voice never stops speaking. It's with you in every season, every challenge, every victory. When you're on the mountaintop, it's there, celebrating with you. When you're in the valley, it's there, comforting you. When you're lost, it's there, guiding you home. God's voice is your constant companion, your unshakable truth, your eternal promise. So what do you do now? You listen, you trust, you act. That voice you're hearing, it's not just a whisper. It's a call to rise, to step into your destiny, to become the person God created you to be. Don't ignore it. Don't doubt it. Embrace it. Let it lead you. Let it transform you. You're a chosen one, and this is your moment. The voice of God is speaking, and it's time to answer. This voice you're hearing, chosen one, is more than a guide. It's a fire kindling within you, igniting a spark that will set your entire life ablaze with purpose. It's God speaking directly to your spirit, calling forth the strength you didn't know you had, the courage you thought you'd lost, the dreams you buried long ago. This isn't just a moment of inspiration. It's a divine awakening, a shift that's pulling you out of the ordinary and into the extraordinary. You're not meant to stay small, to blend in, to settle for a life that feels safe but unfulfilled. God's voice is urging you to break free, to step into a reality where His power flows through you, unstoppable and unshakable. Think about what this voice is doing right now. It's cutting through the fog of your doubts, the weight of your past, the noise of a world that tries to define you. It's like a lighthouse, steady and sure, guiding you through the storm to a place of clarity. You've been through battles, moments that tested your heart, your faith, your resolve. Maybe you've faced rejection, loss, or betrayal. Maybe you've wondered if you're enough. But God's voice is speaking louder than all of that, saying, "You are mine, and I have never left you." He's reminding you that every trial was a stepping stone, every wound a mark of your resilience, every tear a seed for the harvest that's coming. This voice is also a key, unlocking doors you didn't even know were there. It's not just about hearing, it's about seeing. When you tune into God's voice, your eyes open to possibilities you've overlooked, paths you've ignored, opportunities you thought were out of reach. It's like standing on a mountain, looking out at a horizon that stretches beyond what you ever imagined. God's voice is showing you that your life isn't limited by what you see now. It's defined by what He sees in you. He's calling you to a vision bigger than your fears, bolder than your doubts, brighter than your wildest dreams. And here's something powerful. This voice isn't just personal, it's universal. It's not only speaking to you, but through you. When you listen, when you obey, you become a conduit for God's light, a vessel for His love. Your life starts to ripple, touching others in ways you can't predict. Think of Ruth, a woman who heard God's voice in her grief and followed it to a foreign land. She didn't know she was stepping into a legacy that would lead to the birth of kings. You're walking a similar path. The voice you hear is leading you to a purpose that will echo beyond your lifetime, shaping lives you may never meet. Don't miss this, chosen one. God's voice is a promise of transformation, but it's also a challenge. It's asking you to let go of the familiar, to step away from the safety of what you know. It's calling you to trust in something bigger than yourself, to believe in a plan you can't fully see yet. This takes courage, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that quietly says, "I'll go where you lead." It's the courage of Daniel, who faced a den of lions because he trusted God's voice over the threats of men. That same courage is in you, waiting to be unleashed. This voice is also a mirror. It reflects who you really are, not the version the world sees, not the one shaped by mistakes or pain, but the person God created. When you listen, you start to see yourself through His eyes. Strong, capable, chosen. You're not defined by your failures or your fears. You're defined by His love, His purpose, His power. This voice is stripping away the lies you've believed about yourself, the limits you've accepted, and revealing the truth. You are a masterpiece, fearfully and wonderfully made. Psalm 139:14. And when you see yourself that way, everything changes. Your steps become surer. Your heart becomes lighter. Your life becomes a testimony. People start to notice something different about you, not just your words or actions, but the way you carry yourself, the peace that surrounds you, the fire in your eyes. That's what happens when you align with God's voice. It doesn't just change your mind, it changes your presence. You become a light that draws others, a force that shifts atmospheres, a chosen one who carries God's glory wherever you go. This voice is also a rhythm, a pulse that syncs your life with God's timing. You've felt it before, those moments when everything seems to fall into place, when the right people show up, when the right doors open. That's not luck. That's God's voice orchestrating your life, aligning your steps with His plan. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. When you listen to His voice, you step into His timing, and suddenly, what felt like delay becomes divine preparation. What looked like a setback becomes a setup for something greater. Let's pause for a moment. If this message is resonating, if you feel God's voice stirring something deep within you, hit that like button and subscribe to join thousands of chosen one souls on this journey. And in the comments, type 777, a declaration that you're ready to walk in His timing, to follow His voice. This isn't just about supporting the message, it's about standing in faith, proclaiming that you're ready for what God has next. Now, let's talk about the power of this voice in the face of opposition. The enemy doesn't want you to hear it. He'll throw distractions, doubts, even despair to drown it out. But God's voice is stronger. It's like a river cutting through stone, steady, persistent, unstoppable. When you hold fast to it, no weapon formed against you can prosper. Isaiah 54:17. The lies that try to pull you down, the fears that try to hold you back, they're no match for the truth God is speaking. His voice is your defense, your strength, your victory. And here's something you need to know. This voice is personal. God isn't speaking to a crowd, He's speaking to you. Your name is on His lips. Your story is in His heart. He knows every detail of your life, the joys, the sorrows, the dreams, the fears. When He speaks, it's not a generic message. It's tailored to you, crafted for your journey, designed to lead you into the fullness of His plan. That's why you feel it so deeply, why it resonates in your soul. It's His voice, calling you by name, inviting you into a destiny only you can fulfill. This voice also carries authority. It's not just a suggestion, it's a command. When God speaks, worlds are created. When He calls, mountains move. When He whispers your name, destinies shift. His voice isn't passive, it's active, alive, powerful. It's the same voice that said, "Let there be light," and light appeared. Genesis 1:3. When you hear it, you're not just receiving words, you're receiving power, purpose, and a divine mandate to rise up and walk in your calling. And when you respond to that authority, you step into a new reality. Things that once held you back lose their grip. Chains of fear, doubt, and shame fall away. You start to walk with a confidence that comes not from yourself, but from the one who spoke you into existence. Think of Peter, who went from denying Jesus to preaching with boldness because he heard God's voice and obeyed. That's what's happening to you. His voice is turning you from ordinary to extraordinary, from hesitant to unstoppable. This voice is also a promise of provision. When God calls you, He equips you. He doesn't send you into the unknown without resources, without strength, without a plan. Whatever you need for the journey, wisdom, courage, finances, connections, it's already on its way. And my God will meet all your needs, according to the riches of His glory, in Christ Jesus. Philippians 4:19. His voice isn't just leading you, it's providing for you, making a way where there seems to be none. And here's where it gets exciting. This voice is a catalyst. It doesn't just guide you, it transforms you. Every time you listen, you become more of who you were meant to be. Your fears shrink, your faith grows, your vision expands. You start to see possibilities where you once saw problems, opportunities where you once saw obstacles. God's voice is reshaping your mind, renewing your spirit, and preparing you for a future that's bigger than you can imagine. This voice is also a connection. It links you to something greater than yourself, a divine purpose, a cosmic plan, a story that stretches across eternity. When you hear it, you're not just hearing words, you're tapping into the heart of God. You're joining a lineage of chosen ones who heard His voice and changed the world. Abraham, Moses, Esther, David, and now you. You're part of something eternal, something unstoppable, something that will leave a mark on history. And don't miss this. The voice you're hearing is a call to surrender. Not surrender in defeat, but surrender in trust. It's about letting go of your need to control, to understand, to have all the answers. God's voice is asking you to trust Him, to believe that He sees what you can't, knows what you don't, and loves you more than you can comprehend. When you surrender to His voice, you find freedom, not bondage, but a freedom that lets you soar. This voice is also a light in the darkness. When life feels heavy, when the world feels chaotic, when you're not sure where to turn, His voice is there, steady and sure. It's like a star in the night sky, guiding you home. Your word is a lamp for my feet, a light on my path. Psalm 119, 105. No matter how dark it gets, His voice will always lead you to safety, to hope, to victory. And when you follow that light, you become a light. Your life starts to shine in ways you never expected. People are drawn to you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You carry His voice, His presence, His power. You become a beacon, a testimony, a chosen one who shows the world what it means to live in alignment with God's will. Your life becomes a story that others will tell, a legacy that others will follow. This voice is also a call to boldness. It's not enough to hear it, you have to act on it. God's voice is inviting you to take risks, to step out, to trust Him in ways that feel uncomfortable, but right. Maybe it's time to speak up, to start something new, to walk away from something old. Whatever it is, His voice is giving you the courage to do it. Think of Gideon, who heard God's voice and led an army with just a handful of men. That's the kind of boldness God's voice stirs in you. And when you act, you'll see miracles. not because you're special in your own strength, but because you're carrying His voice, His power, His plan. Doors will open, hearts will change, lives will be transformed. Your obedience to His voice will set off a chain reaction that reaches far beyond what you can see. You're not just following a whisper, you're unleashing a divine force that will shake the world. This voice is also a reminder of your identity. You're not just anyone, you're a chosen one, marked by God, called by name, destined for greatness. His voice is speaking that truth over you, drowning out the lies that say you're not enough, not ready, not worthy. You are His, and that's all that matters. I have called you by name, you are mine. Isaiah 43:1. Let that sink in. His voice is claiming you, affirming you, lifting you up. And here's the thing, this voice is eternal. It doesn't fade with time, doesn't weaken with circumstances, doesn't stop when life gets hard. It's always there, always speaking, always guiding, even when